Okay, round 10. Here we go. We just managed to screw these things up. Welcome to me beautiful work table. This is my where I build stuff and do things. Tabletop simulator, some sweet action going on here. Of course you knew that, that's why you're here. And let's get into this deal. Oh, I gotta smash the lock button. So I was just about to start recording this video when I realized that none of my audio was working. So I had to mess around with that, and then I go to start after it. And my sweet ass Amazon hard hat showed up. I'll show you this stupid ass thing. I bought this hard hat for work. It's got a fan in the front of it to keep my fat ass cool. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Anyways, so yeah, that showed up, which made the dog bark and all sorts of other things. Here, let's get after this video here. I got three things I want to talk about today. One of them is this map that I've made. The other one is a new paper minis that I found. Some guy that I subscribe to on Patreon, not Patron. He's got some pretty interesting artwork. We're going to go over that, and then I want to show you this thing here called Stabilize. Let's start with the map. Let's get this thing building. I'm not 100% sure who was the original artist behind this map. Usually I just scroll through Reddit to find my stuff. But for some reason, this one doesn't have like a Tom Kartos written on it or any of that kind of stuff. So I don't know who made the map. If anybody knows, I can put some accreditation in the show notes. The map itself is actually pretty sweet. I'll just zoom in on this deal. There's like a little waterway that comes in with a waterfall, and it kind of goes through like a little sort of subterranean cave, which I thought was pretty cool because this could be, the entrance to some kind of secret pirate cave hideout, which is why it's aptly named. You've got some minerals, some gems and stuff like that being mined up in this section. Over here, there's some kind of, I don't even know what you would call it right now. Summoning, like a summoning kind of a circle kind of a thing, which gave me a kind of a cool idea. There's a bed, some gold coins, some books and stuff like that. Little treasure map on the table with some rugs and stuff. So that's up there. But this, you can see how it comes in. Little fire pit, ladder up and stuff like that to this area. And then down here you've got like a workers area where you would have a bunch of other pirates and stuff like that, probably sleeping quarters. Well, obviously sleeping quarters, that's why the beds are there. So there's an eating area. You could use this for multiple things. It can either be like a pirate's hideout, or it could be like a secret pirate's hidden meetup area where they come and hang out, just, do stuff together. This is like a club or something, like a clubhouse or something like that, an underground clubhouse. The gems and stuff are kind of sweet, but they're going to add the element of greed. Pirates always want their booty, their treasure, so maybe this is a secret treasure cave they found, and they're busy mining this stuff, and that's what they built. I'll get this map going here, finish building, and I'll show you what I did to 3Dize it. As soon as it finishes. And so yeah, I started cutting out some of the different layers. I put in a few fishing poles and a little pickaxe and some rope. Got some crystalline structures that I found online, and then down here I started dropping in a few little gemstones. You can see them kicking in there. Put a bucket, a couple of ropes. I changed the floors because you'll see over here the original pattern has a bunch of stuff on it. There's a bunch of gem crates and a bunch of other crates and a table and stuff sitting around. So I got rid of these things, and especially the summoning area and stuff like that. You're not going to be able to really find anything that specific. So I found like a wood plank 4 image and put that in there, and then I just kind of sort of half-assed made it look like it was supposed to. One of the things that I noticed was that they killed a hoe. There's her skull, I guess. I don't know why that says that on there, but there's some little scriptures going on. I did manage to get a treasure chest in here and a bed with a rug. A couple other things. There's a little work table, some bookshelves. So you got a little area up there. I put the ladder in and a little fire bucket and whatnot, a bridge to cross. And then it's just kind of a pirate's hangout that I built. You got a little fishing nets and some cargo stuff, some crates. There's another little table with a map and some candles on it. And then, yeah, and some of these upper levels and whatnot, these are all going to be like gems and stuff like that. After I laid a few down in the initial part of the map, I was like, okay, that's more than enough. We don't need to load a ton of stuff. There's a back entrance way over here. If your players, for whatever reason, want to try and find a sneaky way in, here they go. There's a little boat, a little ladder that goes up. Maybe they climb up to, you know, one of these little rope ladders and find some hidden stuff over here. So yeah, there's that is you know, another option for a little aerial combat kind of a deal, swinging from the ropes, pirate style. In the kitchen, I covered the tables with area rugs. That's the word I was thinking of. So the original artwork, you can see the chandeliers are still here. Rather than fart around with it and put in dungeon tiles and stuff like that, I just left them. And then I just covered up the tables that were there with the area rugs and dropped in some fresh tables. And here's a little mini bar with some candles on it. Behind here is the kitchen area with some food and some barrels and a stove that's not lit. Clean up area. And then this is, there's a door here that leads into a storage area with a light on it. And then, yeah, up in this top corner here, you've got a little... like a prison area kind of a thing. So maybe one of your fishing mates or whatever has been captured and he's being, you know, held here, and you got to come in and rescue him. That was one idea that I was thinking of. One of the other ideas that I was thinking of is what I would like to do with this map is put in like a summoner, and the summoner is summoning like the ghosts of pirates or something like that, and he's having these ghosts come and work these mines and sort of dig up the mines and whatnot. So he's, you know, that's what the summoning aspect is. He summons them up. Just some ideas I was throwing out there. A little foliage on the top. But yeah, it turned out to be not too shabby when she was all said and done. A lot of potential in this map. This one is called Pirate Cave Hideout. You'll be able to find it in the workshop. Games, workshop. Once again, One World Games with tables, or One World Game tables with images is where you'll find it. Moving on to the next thing, object stabilizers. This is a thing that my friends rib me about all the time, kind of drives me mental, but you know, you can't really say much about it. I'm going to take these two guys and we're going to head over to the back of the dungeon here. Drop them on the ground, and now one of them says this guy's stable. So the gist of this thing, you can get it from the object stabilizers. If you're running a script on your minis, you can attach it to this stable base. You just put it on top and it will connect itself. And then it makes it stable. Or you can just take this one, drop it on top like so, press the stabilize button. It does a thing, and she's stabilized. Now what stabilize does is actually pretty sweet. Unlike this guy, you can see how he kind of fell over, right? So if you're playing up in the top rafters here, you're trying to drop this guy. See, he kind of falls over like a drunken fool, and you're trying to get him up top or whatever, and he doesn't really. Oh yeah, I put skulls on the bottom of this guy, so when he dies, it turns into a little pile of skulls. But you see that can be a problem, and it's a thing that happens quite frequently in Tabletop Simulator. They're always kind of falling over and getting janky. Problem solved. Check out Mr. Stable Guy. You drop him up here. Wherever he touches the table, he sticks. I don't know who built this thing. We're going to go find out in half a second here. But yeah, he will not sort of like fall off. Wherever he touches the ground is where he'll be at. So if you put him over here, say on the... oh, he just kind of cool like slid down the ladder there. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. You move him just, there he goes, little by little. He slid down the ladder. So that's what that does. Object stabilizers keeps things from falling over when you put them in weird spots. You want to fight off the top of the table, you know, rather than have to deal with your guy getting all freaking janky and falling all over the place. Where's my Legionnaire? Because this guy, see what I mean? And it just looks weird and goofy. Object stabilizer fixes the problem. Objects, let's go to, let's see if I can find out who made that quickly. What was the third thing? There was a third thing. Oh, the third thing. So let's go to workshop and object stabilizers. Ooh, I don't know if I want to. Oh yeah, let's just do it. I'll fix it in post. Object games workshop object stabilizers. Let's load this up. I don't know who made this thing. Somebody made this thing. Maybe it says over here. This allows you to stabilize objects so they won't fault credits. Here you go. GB. All code is MIT licensed, so feel free to copy, modify, or reuse in your own projects. So all credits go to this guy. Frickin' fantastic, man. That is super cool. And yeah, it gives you sort of the ultimate idea as to how that would work. This guy is kind of stabilized, and this guy just kind of falls over like a frickin' clumsy lunatic. Drop him on here, hit the stabilize button, put him back, and he now stays where he's at. That is a friggin' fantastic piece of code that I'm absolutely in love with. Okay, back to me sweet work table. The last thing on the list is paper golems. I found a guy on Twitter the other day that is making new artwork. We're going to go over to right monitor full screen. Paper golems on Patreon. I really like the artwork. It reminds me of Gru, and if you haven't seen or know who Gru is, Gru the Wanderer is a comic book. Let's just go back and hit Gru, and then we'll do some images. This is the guy in the old school Mad comic books. He would write these or draw these little sort of comedy little sketches in the tabs or margin areas of Mad comic books. Sergio Aragon is his name, but he also created Gru the Wanderer. And yeah, he's just like a dumb barbarian guy that gets himself into comical trouble. And this guy's artwork kind of reminds me of that. There's a few things in there where there's some space and laser pistols and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that's interesting because I'm trying to get away from doing fantasy. So looking for people that will do that. The other one that does it is David Oakham. He's also one of my Patreon. In fact, he's probably the best one for doing outside of fantasy stuff. David Oakham Arts. He does a lot of, this is Norse mythos, Greek monsters. What do we got here? Armageddon, so this is like post-apocalyptic. You see you've got different robot-looking guys with masks, gas masks, and stuff like that. He does all sorts of weird stuff, which is really neat. So if you're looking for outside of the fantasy realm, paper mini stuff, David Oakham is your dudester. The one that I'm showing you today, though, is Paper Golems. We got to get back to this guy. And yeah, I really like the artwork. It's pretty sweet. So I signed up for, I can't even remember which tier it is, the Iron tier. Iron Golem. And yeah, here's a Troll Alchemist. He's in there. You see he's got some fantasy stuff. This is the little Robin Hood thing that he put together with Friar Truck. Wow. Maid Marian, Little John, the Sheriff. Some undead guys, goblins and stuff like that. There's a little goblin crew in here, which is pretty sweet. And then the cool part too is if you're playing paper minis at your table and stuff like that, he does terrain. So you got some gates, a little house top and whatnot, cemeteries in this one. There's some river stuff. Here's some tavern. You just cut them out, stick them down on the table to build your tavern. So the terrain stuff is pretty neat. These are the creature crawlers, something or other, burrowers and crawlers. You get the gist of it. But I'm using his stuff in game. Get back to the old TTS. They actually turned out really, really sweet. This is the Skeleton Legionnaire, front and back. So yeah, if you're looking to broaden your expanse of paper minis inside of your tabletop simulator, check that guy out. Paper Golems. They actually look really good. They turned out quite nice. The reason I use paper minis instead of 3D minis in a tabletop simulator 3D engine is because you can't always find what you're looking for. The models aren't always available, but I can turn any model or any image from Google into a paper mini. So if I'm looking for some weird thing, for example, I think it's a Sclud, something like that. Scald. I don't remember what it is. You can find things like this kind of artwork, and this is actually printable heroes artwork, but you can find stuff like this and create your own. So that's why I use paper minis. Anyways, that's it. I think I'm done. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Peace out. Thanks for watching, everybody.